Here on the Guiana massif in the south of Venezuela live ancient ethnic groups who have inhabited the Amazon forest for over 3,000 years. The Sanama, the Yaquanas, or the Maquiritare know that this particular liana contains a very special substance. They call them barbasco, and after cutting them, they carefully crush them to extract the sap. The curious thing about this technique is that over 1,000 kilometers away, the Guaranis in Ecuador use it in exactly the same way. They are two completely different ethnic groups, but they have in common a profound knowledge of the jungle in which they live. Here, their diet lacks mineral salts, and so these two people, essentially hunters, are very glad of the occasional chance to eat fish. The barbasco simply absorbs the oxygen in the water, forcing the fish to come to the surface. There are small pools left behind by the river, and normally there are not many fish, and those there are very small. But they are grateful for this occasional and very valuable variation in their normal diet, even if it provides relatively little energy. When it comes to quantity, however, it would be difficult to beat another very distant culture. In the Mekong Delta in Vietnam, this family is heading home to their house built on the river itself. They do not have to go fishing, they literally live with the fish. Their houses are fish farms in which the carpet in the living room is in fact a trapdoor giving access to energy. The entire family participates in looking after and feeding the fish imprisoned beneath their home. Human beings have become so efficient that they have managed to move, whether wisely or not, from subsistence ecology to the market economy. The excess energy can then be exchanged for other goods or for money. In any case, the ultimate aim of all processes has not changed in the slightest. It is a question of eating the body of another animal in such a way that the effort is worth it, that the final energy balance is positive. Fishing implies in some way managing to get the fish out of the water, but when the struggle takes place on land, the problem is very different. Out here, the hunter and the prey share the same surroundings, breathe the same air. Here, the interchange of energy is face-to-face, a challenge which natural selection has resolved by creating real killing machines. In the Amazon forest live some of the most famous assassins of all. This is a three-dimensional ecosystem. The thin outer branches are reasonably safe, but there is sun and wind, and the food is down below. Down there where the shadows have eyes, where sight is unimportant and everyone is in fact listening. On each branch awaits a feast or death. Everyone wants energy their bodies can use. Predation means catching with violence, the only language that evolution has taught the felines like this one. Of all the eyes on its body, only two can see. Remaining absolutely silent, it waits for something to make a mistake, a slight, subtle rustle which will betray the presence of potential prey. This iguana chose the wrong moment to wake from its sleep. The eyes of fear have found him, but he still hopes to remain unnoticed, camouflaged against the ground. Too close. This hunter is an ocelot, but it could be any of the dozens of species of highly specialized predators that live on Earth. Their numbers are insignificant compared to those of their prey, but nonetheless their role in evolution is vital because it is they who decide who will live and who will die. We humans still have one foot in our biological past and the other in our cultural present. As man evolved as a hunter, he gained free hands to create tools. This led to an increasingly large brain, finally making possible the appearance of language. Then, like these piranhas in the jungles of Ecuador, we were capable not only of inventing darts and blowpipes, but also of coating them with poisons obtained from nature. Thanks to speech, hunters could tell each other where the prey was, could describe the landscapes, and what is more important, they could discuss the many different hunting possibilities. Our hands developed in order to grab onto the branches, and our stereoscopic vision arose from the need to measure the distance between one trunk and another. But for some reason we decided to come down to the ground, and when we adopted an erect stance, our hands could be used to manipulate objects. It was then that we became cultural animals.